Hello everyone and welcome back to Neverwinter Nights. I'm so excited. First things first, this scythe needs to not be here. It needs to be in here. I think we can sell pretty much all of these.
You were quick to answer the summons. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to the halls of justice.
This is a mistake, Fentic. We know nothing about this whelp. How can you so blindly trust them?
Dester, please. Violet has showed great promise through her training at the academy, and has done even more in the weeks since the attack. Rarely has a recruit shown such potential after so short a training period. If we are to have any hope of finding a cure for the Wailing Death, we need people like Violet in the service of Neverwinter. It seems I've been drafted into this. Why should I care? I'll only serve if I'm well paid. I am honored to serve Neverwinter, Fentic. And I still say we should put our faith in my Helmite brethren rather than an unproven girl. Erebeth holds Violet in the highest regard, Dester, and Lord Nasher placed her in charge, not you. Please, Violet, you must forgive Dester. The plague takes a heavy toll on us all, a toll made even greater in the past weeks by the attack on the Academy and the loss of the cure. Dester had better watch his mouth or he might lose some teeth. I mean, true. He has no right to speak to me like that, also true, but I understand, Fentic, these are troubled times. You speak more truth than you know, Violet. Waiting within the academy walls, the true horror of the Wailing Death had yet to be felt. The quarantine of Neverwinter has done little to halt the spread of the Wailing Death. Bonfires burn night and day as the city watch dispose of the dead, yet the corpses are piled ever higher. It is all we can do to contain the chaos and maintain order within the various city districts. Rumors run rampant, and the citizens are on the verge of panic. Rumors? Because the plague cannot be cured by the priests or clerics of the city, some claim it is an unnatural thing sent by an unknown enemy bent on destroying Neverwinter. The attack on the Academy in these past weeks will only make things worse, Fentic. Once people learn how Erebeth lost the cure through her lack of faith. Dester! I will not have you question the faith of my true love. Erebeth believed the Academy to be a safe haven. Anyway, it is not our place to even discuss such things. My Lady Erebeth is in charge, appointed by Lord Nasher himself to stop the Wailing Death. You must talk to her, Violet, as soon as possible. I want to ask you some questions. It is important that you speak to Erebeth soon, Violet, but I will not refuse your request. Ask your questions. Ooh, okay. What do you know about the attack on the Academy? We learned very little in the week after the attack occurred. You are one of the few who survived, Violet. The instructors were slaughtered, and only a handful of students are left. You must uphold the legacy of the Academy, Violet, but I know you will be equal to the task. Rarely has a recruit shown as much potential as you. There is little else I can tell you about the attack, I fear. We have yet to uncover the identity of the mysterious assailants. Perhaps Erebeth could tell you more. Is there anything else? Tell me about the plague. Despite the citywide quarantine, the Wailing Death spreads quickly. Even here in the Hall of Justice we have felt the plague's touch, as you can see by the afflicted around us. Dester and I do what we can to comfort these poor souls, but we can do little else. Not even Neverwinter's most powerful priest can heal or raise those who contract the Wailing Death. Aren't you afraid of catching the plague yourself? Our faith protects us. Only the faithless need fear the Wailing Death, as I and my Helmites have proclaimed many times. Dester, please, no one yet knows how the plague spreads though contact with the infected does not seem to be the catalyst. Even so, people are burning the bodies and locking themselves indoors just to be safe. People are scared. They are on the verge of panic and even open rebellion, and the City Watch struggles to keep order. The panic will get worse when the people learn of the attack on the Academy and how Erebeth lost the cure. I will not have you speak ill of the woman I love, Dester. We should not even be discussing this. Erebeth must decide who was given such information. She is the one in charge. But what do you know about the cure for the plague? I'm afraid I cannot discuss this with you, Violet. I must obey the chain of command, and my Lady Erebeth is in charge of finding the cure for the Wailing Death. Tell Violet the truth, Fentic. Erebeth had the cure, and she lost it, because she trusted those at the Academy over my Helmite brethren. I will not have... that's the same thing. What's your role in all of this? I do whatever my Lady Erebeth commands, Violet. Lord Nasher himself appointed her to oversee her efforts to find a cure. He could not have made a better choice. Erebeth has placed me in charge of discovering who is behind the attack on the Academy. If you ever come across such information, you may report it directly to me. And of course I do what I can to ease the suffering of those within Castle Never who have been infected with the Wailing Death, although they are beyond my power to save. Tell me about Erebeth. Lady Erebeth de Tilmarand is a paladin who serves Tyr, as do I. She is young, but her faith, courage, and intelligence are beyond question, as is her beauty. You let your feelings for her cloud your judgment, Benthic. Your lover is not without her flaws. Erebeth and I are of one heart and soul, it is true, but that does not make her any less of a paragon of virtue. None who serve Neverwinter are more capable than my Lady Erebeth. What do you know about Dester? She speaks as if I am not even in the room. No matter, I am too busy to waste my time chatting with you anyway. You must forgive Dester. The strain of the Wailing Death weighs heavily upon us all, but the Helmites are our allies in this dark time. Dester and his followers arrived to offer their aid just before the city was quarantined. They came to help us when no one else dared. I'll be going now. Go with the blessing of Tyr upon you. Dester!
I can spare no time for your idle chatter. I must coordinate the search of my Helmites as they try to recover the missing Waterdavian creatures, thanks to Erebeth. And this is in addition to all our other duties, tending to the dead, comforting the sick, spreading our blessings, and giving the people of Neverwinter hope.
Well, all right then. Goodbye. Oh, map. I need a map. Erebeth!
Welcome to you. I regret I did not get a chance to introduce myself properly to you while you were training at the Academy. I am Lady Erebeth de Tilmarand, Paladin in the service of Tyr, and the right hand of Nasha Alagondar, Lord of Neverwinter. I have been waiting for you.
I'm here now, so you have to say you were waiting for me. Why? I was delayed by Thenfic. I came as quickly as I could. Yeah, I came as quickly as I could.
I have been following your progress since your early training at the Academy. Neverwinter has need of one like you if we are to survive the Wailing Death. The attack on the Academy doused the one faint spark of hope the city had. I need you to help recover that which we have lost.
It will be an honor to serve you, Lady Erebeth.
I knew I could count on you. There are many rumors about the plague, but if you are to aid me in this, it is important you know the truth about the Wailing Death. Our divine healers can do nothing to help those afflicted by the Wailing Death. And even our most powerful magic cannot raise those who succumb to the illness. But a short time ago, we had word that Kelvin Blackstaff Arunson, the famous Archmage of Waterdeep, had discovered a potential cure, one that might be concocted from the essence of 4 rare and magical creatures.
I have heard such rumors before. What became of these creatures? Time's wasting. Get to the point. I've heard such rumors before.
Under great secrecy, the 4 creatures were gathered in Waterdeep, then sent here to Neverwinter. As strange a menagerie as any has ever set eyes on. A cockatrice, an intellect devourer, a yonti, and a dryad. I ordered them sent to the Academy, Neverwinter's renowned training institution for adventurers of every ilk. I once studied there myself, and I thought the instructors and students were loyal to Lord Nasha.
So you think someone within the Academy betrayed you?
The Academy may have been betrayed from within, or perhaps I simply put too much faith in the instructors, students, and staff to keep this news secret, as Dester claims. You were there. You saw the slaughter. The attack caught us unprepared. You are one of only a handful of survivors from the carnage of the Academy. Benthic and Dester arrived with reinforcements, but during the confusion of battle, the Waterdavian creatures disappeared into the streets of Neverwinter, and our hopes of a cure vanished with them.
How may I serve you in this, Lady Erebeth? Let me guess, you want me to get those creatures back? Well, obviously, but how may I serve you?
Your task in this is twofold. First, find the Waterdavian creatures and bring them back to me, at any cost. We need to harvest components from these creatures if we are to concoct a cure for the Wailing Death. This is your most important duty. Second, we must discover who was behind the attack on the Academy. Any evidence you uncover in this matter should be brought to Benthic. He is the one assigned the task of unmasking our hidden enemy.
How do we even know the creatures are still alive?
By all accounts, the creatures escaped the battle at the Academy unharmed, and there are many reports of strange beasts pouring in from every district of the city.
You must recover the water-daving creatures if we are to survive the wailing death. The fate of Neverwinter rests on your shoulders now. Shouldn't the City Watch be helping in this?
The City Watch can do little to help in this search. Their numbers are barely enough to keep order in the streets of Neverwinter. Others, like Fenthic or myself, have duties that require we stay here. You proved yourself during the attack on the Academy. Your bravery and skill are obvious, and I know you are not in league with those who seek to destroy Neverwinter.
I will do as you command, Lady Arabeth.
I ask for your discretion in this matter. News of the attack and strange creatures roaming the city will only add to the panic and chaos already in the streets. To aid you in your task, I will give you this Stone of Recall. You will find it to be a valuable tool in your quest.
How does it work?
You can activate the Stone of Recall at any time, and it will instantly teleport you and anyone in your service back here to the Temple of Tyr.
F5, my Stone of Recall button. How do I normally keep that up there in that corner, so let's just do some quick, please continue, Lady Arabeth, just let me, there we go. Excellent, most excellent.
Anytime you go through the teleportation portal in Tyr's temple, it will instantly send you and any companions back to the place your stone was last activated.
That's handy. That's handy as fuck for boss fights.
There is little else I can tell you about this mission. Whenever you need provisions, come speak to me again, and I can sell them to you through the store here at Tyr's temple. Take this gold so you can buy the necessary supplies for your mission. Remember to stock up on healing potions before you go. They will be critical to your survival.
I need to ask you some questions.
I will do my best to answer what questions I may.
What can you tell me about the attack on the Academy?
It was a slaughter, as you well know. Only a handful of hundreds training and teaching at the Academy survived. As yet, we have not discovered the identity of those behind the attack, but the enemy knew the Waterdavian creatures were there. How they came by that knowledge is a troubling prospect. Take any information concerning who may be behind the attack straight to Fenthic. He is the one I have placed in charge of unmasking our hidden enemy. Is there something else I can help you with?
I want to know more about the Wailing Death.
The first victims were reported several months ago, and within days it had spread to all corners of the city. It was not the first plague Neverwinter has suffered, but it is by far the worst.
Well, with a name like the Wailing Death, I would assume so.
Unlike other sicknesses, the Wailing Death seems to resist all efforts to cure it, including the divine magic of the priests. Perhaps that is what makes it so terrible.
I want to ask both these questions. The room next door is full of plague victims. Aren't you scared of being infected?
The plague does not seem to spread through contact with the infected. Healers tend to the sick without becoming ill, and some who lock themselves alone indoors contract the illness. We have quarantined the city, but that is mostly to help the Watch maintain order. It has done little to halt the spread, though some districts remain unaffected. Perhaps that is what is so terrible about this affliction. There is no rhyme or reason to it, seemingly no way to guard against it, and until we have all the Waterdavian creatures, no way to cure it. Is there something else I can help you with?
I want to ask the other question. Oh, shit.
Is there something else? Unlike other sicknesses, we have quarantined the city, but that is mostly the plague. Perhaps. Is there something else I can help you with?
I want more information on the Waterdavian creatures and this cure.
It was Kelvin Blackstaff Arunson, the Archmage of Waterdeep, who discovered the potential cure. However, we have not even had a chance to test it. The creatures were taken from us too quickly. If Blackstaff is right, the cure requires feathers from a cockatrice, the brain of an intellect devourer, blood from a Yonti, and a lock of hair freshly plucked from a dryad's head. Is there more you would know? Any information about the creatures I can provide to help you locate them will be freely given, of course.
I found the liberal yuppie answer. Tell me about the cockatrice.
A cockatrice resembles a hybrid of chicken, lizard, and bat.
Awesome.
They are repulsive animals that can petrify opponents. You must be extremely cautious when dealing with this beast. Is there more you would know?
Tell me about the Yanti.
Any information? The Yanti are a race of beings whose bloodlines are a mixture of human and snake. They can be any combination of snake and human characteristics. They are highly intelligent, and many of the creatures practice magic.
Oh, hell yeah.
It is rumored that some even have the ability to alter their shape.
Oh, hell yeah. In 5th edition now, you can play as Yanti purebloods, and
Is there more
they're
you would
nasty.
know? Any information about the creatures
Tell
I
me
can
about the
provide to
Intellect
help you
Devourer.
The Intellect Devourer is a truly horrible entity, resembling a large fleshy brains with legs. It can dominate the minds of its victims so that it may devour their very thoughts.
Hot.
Is there more you would know?
Tell me about the Dryad.
She is like most of her kind, a beautiful, elusive forest sprite whose charms transcend mere physical appearance. Out of charity, she came willingly to help us when she learned of our need. However, the city is strange to her and unsettling. When the attack came, I suspect she fled in panicked terror and now is lost among the unfamiliar streets and buildings of Neverwinter.
Oh, the Dryad.
If you find her, treat her with the respect and kindness she deserves. She is very brave to leave her wood to come to our aid.
Of course I will.
Is there more you would know?
Alright, fine.
Any
I'll
information
pick
about the
liberal
creatures I
answer.
can
What right
provide
do
to
you have
help you
kill these
locate
creatures
them.
to save
A
yourself?
single drop of blood, a single scale, a lock of hair. All these can be collected with no harm to the creatures. Only the monstrously evil Intellect Devourer needs be slain to collect the reagent.
What's the scale from? You need feathers, not scales. Didn't you just say that?
Is there more you would know? And
That's
is
all I
there
need to know
something
about
else I
Waterdevian
can help you
creatures.
with?
I want to ask you
I will
something
do
else.
my best to answer your questions.
It would be nice to know a little more about the lady I'm working for.
I am not one to boast of my accomplishments. Suffice to say that I am a paladin of Tyr, and I am honored Lord Nasha has placed me in charge of finding a cure for the Wailing Death. Is there anything else?
Tell me about Fenthik.
It is no secret that Fenthik and I are lovers. Our feelings for each other are only matched by our devotion to Tyr and our loyalty to Neverwinter. Although Lord Nasha has placed me in charge of finding a cure for the plague, I could not do this without Fenthik's help. His faith and conviction are a comfort to me in times of darkness. Is there anything else?
What do you think of Dester?
I think the Hellmite is arrogant, sanctimonious, self-righteous, and holier than thou. Forgive me for being so blunt, but Dester and I do not see eye to eye.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Dester challenges my every decision on general principle, or so it would seem. He is constantly accusing me of abandoning my faith and not trusting enough in the power of the divine.
Why do you put up with him?
Sometimes I think Dester and his Hellmites do more to hinder my efforts than help them. But Fenthik assures me they bring hope to the city, and hope is something the people desperately need. Is there anything else?
Do you have any information as to where the creatures might be?
There are many rumors, and I would not like to give you any false leads. However, there is something that seems reliable. There have been some promising reports from the prison district. Several eyewitness accounts indicate a strange creature is wandering the area, or was a short time ago. But there is no guarantee the reports are accurate. The creatures could be in any one of the city districts. I shall leave it up to you where you want to take your search.
Let's head to the Peninsula District. There's 4 districts, 4 creatures. You do the math.
Is there anything else?
Goodbye.
Farewell.
Oh, actually, no.
Welcome.
I
Do
would
you have-
require temple services. Sell everything. Yep, figured. Alright, I got 1,100 gold. Do you have a torch? Because I did sell my torch. And I didn't mean to. I guess you don't. Well, I think we have enough money to hire all the companions we want to hire. Priority, the Wailing and the Waterdavians. As the Wailing Death spread across Neverwinter, it was soon apparent that it was not a natural affliction. It couldn't be cured by normal means, and the holiest of clerics found their divine healing useless. To fortify the city and aid in investigating the plague, Lady Arabeth de Tilmaran called for adventurers a promise to attend the Neverwinter Academy, and also sought help from some of the greatest wizards in the realms, including the great Archmage of Waterdeep, Kelvin Blackstaff Arunson. Arunson sent a collection of magical creatures to the city with instructions on how they might be used as reagents in a potential cure. The beasts were stored at the academy, and with the most promising recruits graduating, the site became too tempting a target for Neverwinter's unseen enemy. In the ensuing attack, all but a handful of students were killed, and the water-deviant creatures fled into the night. With the viciousness of the still unknown enemy proven, Lady Arabeth called for the survivors to do what they could to find the water-deviant creatures and gathered any information on the suspicious origins of the plague. Lady Arabeth hopes that her new recruits will return the beast to her at the Hall of Justice, where she waits with her lover, Abbot Fenthic Moss, and her peer, watching out of the helm, Dester Indelain. 1. Find the 4 water-deviant creatures and bring them back to Arabeth in any condition, dead or alive. Seek clues about what has caused the plague. Arabeth suggested the investigation begin in the Peninsula District. A henchman would be helpful. Most of them are in the building called the Trade of Blades in the city core. Healing potions are invaluable. They can be found in any store. I will be hiring every single companion. Door is barred from the other side. I do want to go in here. There's a quest in here.
Greetings of the even-handed to you. Welcome to the House of Tyr. I am Reverend Judge Olef Uskar, in service of the maimed god.
Hello, Olef. I'm Violet Nayam. Will you answer some questions? This Tyrian home welcomes your well-mannered address. Ask what you will, and I shall respond as I am able. What is your position here? We administer to the plague sufferers. Previously, we were working on artifact recovery, which may be even more important now. It is really a matter that would only concern someone more spiritually minded. I don't think you are the type. No offense meant. I might still be able to help. Yeah, perhaps I was too quick to judge. You seem sincere enough. You may be able to understand why this is so important. In the weeks before the plague, we uncovered the tomb of Miaslaznia Fairblade. Miaslaznia Fairblade. She traveled widely with Halueth Never, founder of Neverwinter. This was a great discovery, and it gave clues to the whereabouts of the founder's resting place. That would have been a great discovery indeed. The plague undoubtedly complicated things. Yes, it did. It is very unfortunate, because perusing these tombs becomes all the more important with the city in crisis as it is. People are scared, and the lack of progress on a cure has diminished their hopes. A find like this would buoy their spirits. There is also a chance that powerful artifacts could be found alongside Halueth Never's remains, though I would not rest my hopes upon it. I will help you in finding these tombs. I welcome your aid in this matter. You couldn't have arrived at a more fortuitous time. Here takes this letter with my seal. It signifies that you act with my sanction. Take it to Briley in the Peninsula District, and he will aid you. He guards one tomb already found. It is in the basement of a house to the east side of the Peninsula District. Return to me when you have found anything, and I will reward you. Judge Olaf in the Hall of Justice seeks the tomb of Neverwinter's founder, Lord Halueth Never, in hopes that it might buoy the people's spirits and perhaps unearth some artifacts that might be in assistance against the wailing. He has requested that those interested in the endeavor present themselves to his assistant Briley, who currently stands over the guard in the recently discovered tomb of Miaslaznia Fairblade, one of Halueth's adventuring companions. Miaslaznia's tomb can be reached from the cellars of a house on the east side of the Peninsula District. This letter bears the seal of Reverend Jev Olaf Uskar and indicates that the bearer is in his services. The letter is to be presented to Briley, a young cleric guarding the tomb in the I was hoping for better information than that, thank you. Fuck it. We'll actually equip these to get them out of the way. And, this will go in tab 6. Tab 6 is always my quest tab, where I keep all the quest items. Oh, there is shit to loot in here. Yoink. Yeah. Yeah. book covers are normal, they're just flavor. If the book is actually important, it has a different cover. Tommy, my man!
Well, hello there. You have the smell of a prospective employer about you. Not that it's easy to smell anything with all the burning corpses in this city, mind you. Never seen this many flies outside of a Callum shot alehouse.
Who are you? Me? Well, I'm none other than the renowned rogue Tommy Undergallows. Grin to my friends, Tommy grinned to the lasses, and that damned halfling to anyone in a position of respectable authority. I can forgive you for not having heard of me, however. I hail most recently from Calumport, and that's a long way even for my reputation to travel. I give it another week, personally. What are you doing in a church? I could ask the same question to you now, couldn't I? Well, if you have to know the truth, I was being chased by a pack of hooligans the day before yesterday when I darted in here. Seems like it's as good a place as any, especially considering the priests don't throw halflings out on their ears as policy like in Calumport, so I've been hanging about, looking for something to do. Do you always talk this much? Unless you're sneaking up for a good backstab or in the sack with a pretty miss, I don't really see the need for restraint. Silence is for the dead, although I hear they can be a bit chatty too at times. Running from your reputation, are you? Well, you strike me as a bit of a rogue yourself, my lady. Sometimes a reputation deserves to be run from, eh? Like a giant ogre with big feet and poor eyesight. You know how it goes, I'm sure. Rob some overfat human caliph with piggy lips, kiss his daughter as a lark before you escape with the loot, and suddenly you're the most wanted man in Calamshan. How was I supposed to know that he was so sensitive about his daughter? I still say it was worth it. That look took flair, and I have flair. Too bad Neverwinter didn't treat me any better at first. He hunted you for kissing his daughter? Well, I use the word kissing loosely, milady. Trouble was the lass was set to marry the Pasha's son, so long as she was a virgin. Ah, well. What happened then? Neverwinter seemed a fine enough city for an enterprising young halfling like myself. On the surface, anyway. You'd be surprised at what people get away with here. They can take a perfectly innocent man, accuse him of simple pickpocketing, and throw him in prison without even so much as a trial. Or not a very fair one, anyway. That judge was mean. Fortunately, my stay in the Neverwinter's fine prison system was a short one. I didn't arrange for my escape, oddly enough, but I was glad for it nonetheless. So you're a convict, then? Technically, I suppose I am. Trust me, however, they have so many other things to worry about in that prison, even if they thought I wasn't dead, they wouldn't trouble with me. What makes you say that? What trouble? The exact goings-ons within the prison I'm not entirely aware of, milady. To tell the truth, I had only been in prison for a few days, and I was just starting to think about how depressing life was when it all began. The warden of the place had been babbling some nonsense about and started releasing all the prisoners, even the truly despicable types of murderers, politicians, lawyers, you name it. I left the area quickly, of course, and I wound up here at the temple. Nice, safe place to be. Last I heard, them prisoners were all tearing up the Peninsula District, making a royal mess. Not the lawyers, though. They were just overcharging. Why would the warden release the prisoners? I really can't say. Some of the other fellows were talking like there was a powerful prisoner who was controlling the warden and making him do these things. Sounds too strange to me. More likely he was brain sick with the plague. The entire Peninsula District is in an uproar, however. I don't think the local constabulary has it under control either. Come to think of it, I saw more than a few people getting attacked on the streets in broad daylight. If you're headed that part of town, you might want to take someone along who knows the roads, aye? Actually, I'm looking for some hired help to assist me on my mission. Oh, a mission, is it? My little pinky toes are quibbling with curiosity, or is that my danger sense? That will go a long way towards explaining my recklessness. Oh well, what kind of mission are you on? I work for Lady Erebeth. I've been instructed to find several missing creatures that might be useful in finding a plague cure. If I'm hiring somebody, they deserve to know what they're being hired for, so I will tell them. So not only a mission, but a legitimate heroic deed performed in the benefit of a cute elf. I hear you, my lady. I'll be glad to help out for the right price. So let's negotiate a bit, shall we? We can place my superior skills of theft, lockpicking, and swordplay at your disposal for any task you choose, providing you can provide me with a nice payment now. I rather doubt you'll find anybody else of my skill available, my lady. 200 gold pieces seems like a fair bargain, don't you agree? That seems a little expensive. I'll give you 150. Do I look like I just got off the last boat from the Moonshays? I know how dangerous you adventurous types are. 200 or no love for Tommy. I could use a good rogue. Here's your 200 gold. Welcome aboard, Tommy. Good, I smell adventure at hand. Or I need to wash my socks, one of the two. I'll tag along with you, my lady, as best I know how. Unless you tell me otherwise. If you want me to do something different, just give me a shout, aye? I am not keeping Tommy for long. Tommy's contract is going in tab 6, down here. Henchman! Tommy Grin Under the Gallows, a halfling thief of dubious character and widespread reputation, has joined his nimble fingers to your cause. His ability to pick locks will prove invaluable throughout your adventures, as will his skill in detecting and disarming traps. Though not eager to go toe-to-toe with an enemy in combat, Tommy's sneak attack on an opponent's exposed flank can be devastating. We're not taking Tommy with us, but I will hire all of the henchmen because all of the henchmen have a quest.
Eh? What can Tommy do for you?
I just want to talk. I'd like to know a little more about you. Oh, it's a bit strange to have you ask me that, milady. Most people think they know Tommy Undergallows well enough through his reputation. In Calimport, the tales of my deeds were the daily fodder of old men in taverns. I do not speak of heroic acts, however. I'm a halfling of the underworld, if you remember. What sort of deeds are you talking about, then? Oh, nothing so sordid and evil as you might guess. I've had fame and fortune aplenty more than once, and lost it all just as often. My most famous exploit, in fact, is one of the reasons I chose to come to Neverwinter when I fled from Calimsham. You see, I'd spent the larger part of my years in Calimport in the employ of a powerful Medusa. She was a great power in the city's underworld, and that is no small feat for anybody, statue-making gazer know. A Medusa? Are you serious? Quite serious. She had a fine head for business, and was as ruthless as any cold-hearted sheik. Not as good with the face-to-face negotiations, though, if you take my meaning. I was in her employ to run errands, burglaries, message deliveries, walking her cat, assassinations, that sort of thing. I did my job well, too, and was well known for it. The job that made me famous, however, was the last one she gave me. I was to infiltrate the house of the famous vizier Sabalan Vihade, and kill him. Were you successful? I was, though not in the matter you're probably suspecting. There's far more to that story than I've told. We've business to undertake, I suppose. Perhaps I'll tell you the rest of my story another time. What do you say to that, my lady? Fine, let's go. Okie dokie, lead on, my lady. All the henchmen have a tale, and when you level up, they'll tell you the next part of it. I believe they all have 3 parts to their story, and after you hear the 3rd part, they give you the quest. Tommy's tale. Tommy started a tale of his earlier life of thieving in the far-off city of Calimsham. Note, Tommy will continue his story when you are a higher level of experience. Come on, Tommy. Oh, please, can you help me? You're with the city militia, aren't you? The guards at the gate said I might get help over here, but I don't know if they were serious or not. Slow down, I'll hear what you have to say. Thank you. I don't mean to take you away from your duties. I mean, you're a guard, right? Probably got your hands full, but this is important. It's the Peninsula District. I live there, and oh, it's just horrible. The killing. Everyone running for their lives. It's horrible. Easy then. Tell me when you're ready. Okay. I came from the Peninsula District. That's where my home was. Now it's too dangerous to go there. The prisoners are killing everyone. It's awful. How did the prisoners get loose? I don't know. I just don't know. Captain Elfin has always run such an efficient operation. I hope nothing's happened to him. I mean, I don't know him personally or anything, but I hear he's a good man. I know he would not have allowed this to happen. I'll see what I can do to stay here where it's safe. Thank you. I can't say how much this means to me. Do you need directions? I'll tell you just to be sure. The Peninsula District is through the gate on the southwest side of the city core near the Moonstone Mask. There are guards posted, but I'm sure they'll let you through. Alright, Bethany? Peninsula Prison Break. There's been a prison break in the Peninsula District. Alright. No. There's Castle Never up there. There's nothing exciting there. The Great Tree has a quest for us, so let's move southerly. There you are, Nyatar.
Greetings. Blessings of the Earth Mother Shantia and the Tree Father Sylvanus upon you. I am Nyatar, in the service of nature.
Hello, I'm Violet Nyam. Could I ask some questions? I welcome your well-mannered address. Ask what you will, and I shall respond if I am able. Is there a place for nature in the heart of this city? The place of nature is everywhere. It cannot be bound by walls or notions of property. Even in the heart of Neverwinter, she must find purchase. Especially in this time when the population has been so weakened by the plague, balance is the first casualty as people lose hope. I have no small stake in the fate of this city. The plague is not natural. I cannot be elsewhere when such an abomination goes unchecked. What is your position here? I see to it that the city does not tip too far from balance. That concerns for natural elements are kept priority. It's not easy in these times. You would not understand. Only a sister in nature could fully appreciate what needs to be done, how vital my task is. I might still be able to help. Perhaps I was too quick to judge. You seem sincere enough. You may be able to understand why this is so important. Many people are falling to the plague, but animals suffer too as well. They suffer in cages in the Black Lake District Lodge. There is a zoo in Neverwinter. Operated by a hunter and his noble entourage. It is not clean, it is not compassionate, and it is not right. The animals within are mistreated. This zoo seems small next to the plague. Your attitude is the majority. I was working to have it closed, but the plague has delayed that indefinitely. The officials I spoke with are among the plague dead. I want to find a quest list for the city core. It has given the zoo a reprieve. They know the law was turning against them, and now they have time to cover their actions. I fear the animals will simply be killed and made into trophies. All creatures deserve charity. The bear, the panther, wolf, and lion, all four should be rescued. I will help you free these animals. I was hoping you would say that. Let me give you a few things to help in your task. I have thought long about what is required. This key will grant you access to the zoo. My animal companion found it, and I make copies. Guards may try to stop you, but doors will not. This is a transport via plants scroll. Use it on the large tree near the zoo, and any of the animals you lead there will be teleported here. And take this scented fetish. It will let you speak to the animals with the skill of a druid or ranger. Please lead the animals to the large tree and to freedom. Which one do I want? I wanted this one. Great Tree, Animal Rescue. Nyatar, a druid beneath the Great Tree in the city core, claims that animals in the Black Lake District Zoo are being ill-treated and require rescue. Nyatar has provided a teleport via plant scroll, which is to be used on one of the trees near the zoo. Once broken from their confinement, any animals led to the tree will be used to teleport safely to Nyatar's side. Great. Alright, there's only one more official quest in here, and it's in the Moonstone Mask. I also need to go into the Trade of Blades, but there is a quest in here, but I'm not the right class for it, and I won't be. There's a quest in here for magic users, of which I am not. No, I wanted to drop off Tommy in the Moonstone Mask. I remember now, everybody who I carry with me ends up in the Moonstone Mask. Giles also has a quest for us, but Giles has a quest called an Evil Offer, which is basically when you find the shit from Never's tomb, bring it to him instead. We're not gonna do that. Fala.
Well now, welcome to the Moonstone Mask. I am Ophala, your host and purveyor of fine spirits and entertainment.
I am especially happy to see that women are visiting. As you can see, it seems that men are more inclined to seek comfort here in times of crisis. Well, hello. Will you answer some questions? Well, you are quite the charmer, aren't you? Ask away. What kind of place do you run here? It's a place of comfort and understanding that has different meanings to different people, so we have a wide variety of services. I can't expect you to understand if this is your first visit. Most of what goes on here is quite innocent. Most. Perhaps you would be interested in partaking in our backroom areas, or you could be of use. No, I talk to you freely. You can trust me. What do you got to say? Oh, shit. Let me try again.
Greetings to you again.
There we go. I suppose there's no harm in me telling you what I need. Maybe you can help if you're good enough. You see, I'm an avid collector. My position here lets me hear about interesting things, and I occasionally hire people to get them for me. Currently, I want a few pieces of art liberated. If the owners of them have made disparaging remarks about me, I would like to express my displeasure. I'll get them. Give me more details. Excellent! The Rum Bottom Estate in the Black Lake District, while Andrade maintains his home in the Docks District. Both are notoriously paranoid. Lastly, I heard Hodge may have been in the Black Lake District. No doubt he's fortified himself in some noble's home, but I don't know which. I'm not asking you to kill, just bring me the items. I'll reward you well. Farewell. Afala Chelderstorn of the Moonstone Mask has requested the theft of a series of art objects from people who have been critical of her establishment. One of them, a valuable urn possessed by a man named Hodge, is somewhere in the Black Lake District. Another, a portrait of the late Sir Reginald Rumbottom III, is said to be hidden in the Rumbottom Estate in the Black Lake as well. The third, a statuette of the female form, is reputed to be in the Docks District estate of the certain Andrade Golden. Should any of these items be acquired, a fellow will pay handsomely for them. Somebody in here also has something else for me. And I want to say it's Torgo.
Hail to ye!
Yeah, pass coin. They're 200 gold each. Wait. Hang on. No, I think that guy is in the Trade of Blades. Is anybody actually in? No, I got them wrong. They're all in the Trade of Blades. Shit. Oh well. Well, I guess we're going to the Trade of Blades. Anybody here is named except for... Nobody here is named except for Torgo, Giles, and Afala. Alright, to the Trade of Blades. I need a torch to start burning those victim pyres. Dalen! Grax, he's who I want.
Hail to ye!
What do you want, huh? Come on, you don't interrupt a Trade of Blades mark without good reason. Where can I go to get some action? Heh, now you're talking my language. There's one place. Yeah, you look good with a weapon, just don't let anyone hear about it. It's not supposed to get around. It's a club for fighting. We call it the Gauntlet. If you want action, that's where you go. I can sell you a pass if you want 50 gold. Here's my 50 gold. And here's your pass. Don't say where you got it, although I doubt they'll ask. Nobody talks with the Gauntlet, but people show up anyway. The Board Laid Bear Tavern is in the Black Lake District. Give the pass to the bartender. Good luck. You'll need it. Goodbye. Get on then, I'm tricky to get to. Alright, all this shit needs to go down here in my quest tab. There we go. Awesome. Body Knock, he's one of them.
Hello there. You don't have the look of one of those Neverwinter soldiers about you. Neither do you show any evidence of having contracted the plague.
But you have a certain bearing about you that distinguishes you from the ordinary citizen. Based on my observations, I'd venture the hypothesis that you are an adventurer, correct? You're right, I am an adventurer. My name is Violet, and I am. Who are you? I am Bodyknock Glinkle, a gnome sorcerer from the island of Lantan, who only recently arrived here in Neverwinter. A sorcerer? I thought Lantan looked down on magic. The Lantanese people do not disparage magic, though many do not understand it. However, in my land, we rely on the arcane far less than the other people of Faerun. We prefer to seek scientific solution to a problem rather than a magical one. Often, observation and experimentation are problems that can be solved without resorting to magecraft. Of course, sometimes a little touch of the arcane is a good thing. When the situation is appropriate, I do not hesitate to use my powers, Violet. I may be from Lantan, but I am the first and foremost a sorcerer. Lantan, isn't that the place where all those crazy inventions came from? My homeland does have a reputation for producing marvelous machines and outlandish contraptions, not otherwise known in Faerun. We Lantanese are people guided by the analytical principles of science, observation, reason, and logic, But don't allow yourself to be misled by rumors and hearsay. We aren't all kooky inventors, as some would have you believe. I myself am a sorcerer, for example. What are you doing in Neverwinter? I left my home some time ago to experience the broader world. It is not uncommon for the people of my island to undertake such a journey. I was exploring the northern Sword Coast when I heard rumblings of a previously unknown plague breaking out in Neverwinter. In the name of scientific discovery, I came to investigate and catalog the new illness. Fortunately, I arrived before the city was quarantined. I decided to begin my investigations of the Wailing Death in the Beggar's Nest. Why is the Beggar's Nest? From the accounts I gathered, it was generally agreed that the Beggar's Nest was where the outbreak began. I thought the best way to learn about the plague was to trace it back to the source. And when I learned the clerics were unable to combat the plague, I thought I could apply the scientific principles of Lantan to discover a more mundane cure. Unfortunately, I had to end my investigation into the Beggar's Nest mere days after they began. Far too short a time to conduct a proper study of the situation. Why'd you stop your investigations? Well, it is difficult to conduct a serious scientific analysis when you are constantly besieged by zombies. Much as I wanted to continue my research, I was not about to throw my life away to do it. However, the zombie infestation struck me as more than a mere coincidence. I suspect there may be more than a casual relationship between the animated corpses in the district and the outbreak of the plague itself. While the zombies continue to wander the district, I cannot test my theory, but I suspect information that could lead to a cure can be found within the Beggar's Nest. Your mission? What mission would that be exactly? I work for Lady Arabeth. I've been instructed to find several missing creatures. Yes, I suppose that extracting a cure from certain reagents could be a possible method of countering the rapid spread of the epidemic. Given my own scientific interest in the plague, I would be glad to accompany you in your mission, Violet. All evidence seems to indicate you're a capable woman who isn't afraid of a little adventure and exploration. I'll join up with you for 200 gold pieces. How about 150 and the promise you'll experience wonders you've never seen before? You are not the only one looking to hire me. It wouldn't be logical for me to cut rate with demand exceeding supply. The offer stands at 200. Alright, here's your 200. I have 600 left. Okay. Every expedition needs a leader. Since you're paying, it's only logical that you should be the one in charge. I'll use my spells and skills to help you out as we go along as best I can. If you ever want me to change my tactics, just speak to me and give me new instructions.
Is there something you need?
I just want to talk. Oh, journal. Henchman. Mighty Knucklinkle, a gnomish sorcerer from the island of Lantan, has joined your cause. Though not skilled in melee combat, his arcane spells will be a valuable tool in the many battles that lie ahead. His magic might also prove useful in opening any stubborn locks you might come across. I want to talk. I am a staunch proponent of free exchange of ideas, Violet. What is it you wish to know? If you're going to be my henchman, I'd like to know more about you. Your request is completely logical, Violet, and I will be happy to answer your inquiries. However, as you might expect, I have some questions of my own. Why are you here? What events are the underlying basis for your service to Erebeth in the city of Neverwinter? I've seen too much death and suffering from the plague to stand idly by. I seek to forge a legend that will last forever. Erebeth is present to speak older. I've seen too much death and suffering. Compassion is an admirable trait, Violet, though I must confess my own motivations when I came here were quite different. When I heard about the plague, I was flushed with the thrill of scientific discovery. I thought that if I applied the principles of observation and experimentation, I could discover a cure for the plague. It was only after I arrived that I realized how wrong my preconceived notions were. I suppose the need to learn this lesson was one of the reasons my mentor insisted on sending me out from Lantan. Your mentor? I am a sorcerer. I have the ability to unleash powerful and dangerous forces. I would have been foolish to undertake this career path without seeking the guidance of one more experienced than I. However, sorcerers and wizards are not common in Lantan. We prefer to find a scientific solution to problems whenever possible, rather than relying on magic. At last, I managed to locate another who could train me in the arcane arts, a human sorcerer named Porphyro, who lived in a secluded tower on the far side of the island. And he took you in? I admit that when I first arrived at Porphyro's tower, I did not receive a warm welcome, or rather, to be more accurate, I should say I received an overly warm welcome. Just as I reached Porphyro's tower, a large lizard popped up from behind a nearby bush. It was somewhat alarming. However, when the creature opened its jaws and belched forth a jet of flame, I became absolutely terrified. I fled back the way I'd come in the fire jake's blast of flame, looking at my heels the entire way. As soon as I passed beyond the boundaries of Porphyro's land, the creature turned and disappeared back into the bushes. What'd you do then? Once I had regained my wits, I realized the fire drake served a dual purpose. It was a guardian for Porphyro's estate, but it also provided a challenge for any would-be apprentices who might wish to approach him. If I could find a way to best the creature, I was certain Porphyro would see my potential and accept me as an apprentice. The problem was how to get past the creature when my magic was barely capable of igniting a candle. I had to rely on my mind to solve the problem, so I began to analyze the facts so I knew them. And I realized the creature was nothing more than an illusion. An illusion? How'd you figure that out? I simply looked at the evidence. Fire drakes are not indigenous to my island, and the climate is hardly suitable for one to survive. Plus, I had noticed no burn patches in the grass or scorched bushes on the ground. The flames I felt looking at my heels had done no damage to my shoes and clothing. Armed with the undeniable proof of the illusion, I marched up to the tower once again. When the lizard appeared, I simply ignored it. It charged straight at me, fire and smoke spewing from its jaws, but I held my ground for in a split second before the beast bowed me over. It disappeared in a shower of light. The door to the tower swung open. I stepped in to see an old man in robes. He smiled at me and said, "Well done, Buddy Knocklinkle. You've proven yourself worthy of becoming my student. I am Porphyro." What was it like as his apprentice? I'm sorry, Violet, but this isn't the most reasonable time to discuss this, is it? After all, Neverwinter is in great peril. Ask me about this again later, Violet, and I will be happy to continue my tale. But for now, we should focus on your mission for Lady Erebeth. Bodyknock told the story of his early past in which he became an apprentice to the wizard Porphyro. Porphyro, I don't know. Linu!
Please now, I already told you that I didn't mean to step on your cat. It ran right in front. Oh, you're not that other one.
Oh goodness, how embarrassing. Why does this always happen to me? Who are you? Before I tell you anything about me, I would like to ask you a question, if you don't mind. Go ahead. You're not one of those dirty, underhanded, conniving thief types, are you? I don't like the rest of that description, but I am a thief, yes. Oh, but not the kind who would steal the go fillings from your grandmother's teeth while she's still talking. No. I have had nothing but problems with irritating, despicable thieves ever since I left, but that's not important right now. Let me introduce myself. My name is Linu Lanarel, a devout priestess of Sehenin Moonbow. I seek to continue my adventures by hiring myself out as a healer. Why are you here in the barracks rather than helping the plague victims? I came to this city believing I could stem the tide of the plague with the powers of Sehenin. Alas, it defied my every attempt to find a cure. I worked long, hard hours in the Temple of Tyr, trying to alleviate the pain of the sick. Finally, after working through several days and nights, I was exhausted. I was too tired to stand. I fainted. Then what happened? Well, I fell over and bumped into a glass statue of the symbol of Tyr. One of the balanced plates flew across the room and smashed particularly right above the head of the high priest. The crash was so shocking that the priest sat down right on top of a rather large shard of glass. I'm sure it healed up just fine once they stripped him and pulled it out. I was unhurt, but the other priests didn't seem too concerned about that at the time. They asked me to find somewhere else to help the wounded, as if it was my fault somehow. Well, that could happen to anyone. You were kind to say so, but I suppose it didn't help that I accidentally lit the altar on fire the previous day. Are you really that clumsy? I'm not really clumsy. I was just tired. My troubles don't come from a lack of dexterity, so much as poor timing. Don't worry, I'm good in a fight and an excellent healer. Each day I've been assisting victims of the plague in the slums of the Blacklick district, where they lie in the street ignored by the residents and guards alike. That's good of you. Well, not anymore. The last time I visited there was a couple of days ago. I was attempting to heal a sick old woman off the streets when I was set upon by several thugs. They attacked you while you were helping plague victims? People are terribly discouraged because they figure they are going to catch the Wailing Death, so they aren't overly concerned with morals. In desperation, they turn to theft or worse. I want to go back and help, but what can I do? I don't think that if I could earn some more experience, maybe some gold, I might be able to make a difference. I'm looking for a good healer to help me in my mission. I want to trust you, and I need the work, but I really don't care to be involved in any shady deals. Perhaps you could tell me more about this mission? I work for Lady Erebeth to find several missing creatures that might be used for find plague cure. Erebeth has worked hard to combat this plague, so I am sure I can trust her instincts in this matter. I would love to work for you if we can agree upon a fair price for my services. My goal in life is to get through with a minimum of pain, but sometimes one has to aim for simple survival. To achieve that, you will need an experienced healer. I promise I will do my best to keep you in excellent health. Only 200 gold pieces, and you will gain the talents of one who can heal and fight. That seems a little expensive. I'll give you 150. Perhaps we could meet in the middle and settle on 175? Deal. You will not regret this, dear Violet. My skills are yours to command. I will follow you and perform to the best of my abilities according to the orders you have given me. Anytime you wish to issue new orders, you need only speak to me.
Hey there, dear. What can I do for you?
I want to talk. Oh. Linu Lanarel, an elven cleric of Sayanine Moonbow, has joined your cause. Her divine spells, particularly her healing magic, will be invaluable in the many battles that lie ahead. As well, her ability to turn undead should not be underestimated. I want to talk. I love chatting with you, but don't you think we should focus on the mission right now? If we're going to be working together, I'd like to know more about you. I guess that is understandable. I have been away from my home and friends for a long time now. I would like to get to know you too. Alright, what questions do you have for me? Why did you leave your homeland? You don't start with the easy questions, do you? That is a bit difficult to answer, but I will do my best. I had worked in the Temple of the Full Moon in Everesca for about 6 years before I left my home. I loved the peacefulness of the temple. But even there, accidents and tricks of fate made life difficult. It wasn't usually anything big, just me in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know why, but I just didn't have any luck. Well, bad luck happens to all of us at one time or another. It's not always bad luck, though. Sometimes I can be a little gullible. That's what got me in trouble and sent me away from Everesca. I was collecting tithes one day when a heavily cloaked figure came begging at the temple. He looked like a starving child, so I took him into the inner sanctum to get him some food, and when I came back, he was gone. There was also something else missing, something very precious to the church. What did the thief steal? Please forgive me, I can talk no more of this. We don't know each other well, and I can't share my most embarrassing moment with a stranger. I want to hear what you have to say. Please, I should not have said so much. We will talk about this later, but not now. Linu told the tale about how she initially came to leave her home of Everesca. How much gold do I have? 481. I think there's 3 henchmen left to hire. So, oh, no, so I may not be able to afford them all, in which case let's get Dalen first, because he's the one I'm actually going to be taking with me. Go! Move! Dalen! The man, Dalen. Come on.
Greetings. I see you are not yet infected by the plague that ravages Neverwinter. Among such suffering and misery, we who are not yet afflicted must be grateful for our health.
Who are you? I am Dalen Red Tiger of the Uthgard tribes in the frozen north, but it has been over a year since I left my people and came to Neverwinter. Now I earn my living as a blade for hire. You're quite well spoken for a half-orc. My father was an orc, but the blood of his inhuman race is in my veins, but I was raised by my mother among the tribes of the Uthgard. I'm sorry, I don't know much about the Uthgard tribes. There are some in the city who call my people savages and barbarians, but they know nothing of the Uthgard. We are great warriors and hunters, following the herds and living off the land. My tribe is noble, but small. Among them, there was little chance for a young warrior to prove himself or earn a wife. But I am young and strong, and my people are renowned for their skill in battle. Here in Neverwinter, I found work on the docks as a guard for the cargo and shipments being transported. Then what happened? The coming of the plague changed everything. The quarantine halted the incoming or outgoing ships. There was no work and no money. I should have left the docks then. Many of the dock workers were afflicted. Men I had come to know as friends. I stayed to ease their suffering, but in the end I could do nothing to save them from the wailing death. With my friends dead, there was no reason to stay in the docks, not with things getting worse. Now I earn a living with my axe as a freelance mercenary. What do you mean about the docks getting worse? The quarantine trapped ships in the port, swelling the number of pirates and other criminals in the district, men with no honor. And with the city guard focused on the plague, these evil men have seized control of the docks. An Uthgard warrior knows no fear, but I will not dishonor my tribe. I refuse to serve these men, but I will not become a common thug or murderer. Anything else you can tell me about the docks? Before I left, I heard talk in the district of an auction to be held at Jim Seedy's tavern. Something besides the usual stolen merchandise, illegal goods, and helpless slaves sold in his filthy den of sin. The word spread quickly in the streets. Perhaps I could have learned more before I left, but I had no interest in such transactions. I'm a warrior, not a smuggler. There's little else I can tell you about the docks, but I know the district is dangerous. If you intend to go there, you would be wise to take along a hired blade. I am looking for some hired help. I am no stranger to battle or bloodshed, but I am a warrior with honor. I will not undertake any sinister mission. Had I desired such work, I could have found employment back at the docks. I work in Lady Erebeth, missing creatures, plague cure. Erebeth's reputation is well known throughout the city, so I have no fear your mission will bring dishonor to me. I will work for you if we can agree upon a fair price for my services. I am not one to boast of my abilities, yet the skill and ferocity of the Uthgard tribes are well known throughout the north. I doubt you will find any other axeman for hire who is my equal. Only 200 gold pieces on me, willing servant. Seems a little expensive, 150. It's 175 deal. My skills are yours to command. Yeah. Alright. 300. I do not have enough. Even if I succeed both persuasions, I do not have enough to hire both of the remaining ones. Dalen's feather. Next, I still have Sharwin and the Grimnaw. We'll talk to Dalen.
Yes? Is there something you need?
I want to talk. No. Dalen Red Tiger, a noble barbarian of the Uthgard tribes, has joined his mighty axe to your cause. His ferocity and prowess in melee combat will be helpful in many battles you are sure to face. Dalen can also use his great strength to try and bash open any chests or locked doors you might come across. I'd like to know more about you. I would ask, Violet, that before I tell you about myself, you could tell me something of yourself. Among my people, it is said that in knowing our companions, we come to know ourselves. I admit that I only fight for gold, but I know nothing of your motivations. Why do you serve Neverwinter during these darkest times? I have seen too much death and suffering to stand idly by. You are an honorable woman. I too seek to honor. I've been talking too long. I too seek honor here in Neverwinter, though of a different sort. I came to this city to make a name for myself, to forge a legend that even the tribe of my mother would hear. Instead, I found myself guarding crates and barrels against common thugs. Yet, even in the sordid world of the docks, my reputation spread. Several captains asked me to join their crews. Perhaps if the plague had not come, the name Dalen Red Tiger would have become a legend on the high seas. Don't worry, Dalen. Stick with me and the bards will sing your praises. Perhaps it is for the best. Had I joined a ship's crew, it is unlikely the Uthgard would ever have heard of my accomplishments. My place is here in the north. That is the land of my birth, and it is where I must fulfill my destiny. I will bring no honor to my mother's name by fleeing on a ship. Only if I stay can I hope to redeem the shame of my father's blood and end my exile. Exile? Shame of your father's blood? What are you talking about? Please forgive me. I became lost in the moment. The drums of glory momentarily distracted me from the task at hand. It will not happen again. No, Dalen, tell me what you were talking about. I want to hear it. Please, Violet, the things I said before, the words were... This is not the time to speak of such things. Perhaps I will speak more of this later, but not now. Dalen began the tale of his past, mentioning his exile from his tribe and a shame of blood, though he did not go into detail. Alright, Sharwin or Grimnaw? Heads, tails. Siri, flip a coin. Just whenever you're ready, please flip a coin.
Tails.
Alright, Grimnaw it is. Thank you, Siri.
My pleasure. These remains.
I know you. You were at the academy during the slaughter of the students. You were there when the assassins came.
Who are you? How do you know about the academy? I am Grimnaw, a monk of the Order of the Long Death. The grisly account of the academy is no great secret, Violet. Not to those who seek such things out. Tell me, as you stood amongst the blood-soaked corpses of your fellow students, did you gaze upon the face of death? Did you look into his cold eyes and feel his icy touch on your soul? You seem a little bit creepy, Grimnaw. Many find the members of my order unsettling, for we embrace death in all its incarnations. Yet in times like these, my skills are in great demand. What kind of skills does a monk of the Order of the Long Death possess? I am a disciple of torment and a messenger of death, the Silent Lord. I bring the absolution of pain and anguish to my enemies to prepare them for the brutal and purifying end. In truth, my skills are not so different from any soldier or hired blade, though I embrace the beauty and perfection of my enemy's death with a zeal others often lack. What's a monk of the Order of What's a monk of the Long Death Order doing in Neverwinter? There is a foul taint upon the city. Death, true, permanent death, and is perfect in its absolute finality. Pain, suffering, anguish, torture, these are the tools that prepare us for my master's soothing embrace. But this plague is unnatural. Its victims never pass into the embrace of the Silent Lord. The wailing death is a blight upon the world that must be ended. So far, I have uncovered no answers on my own that might help end this epidemic, though I am eager to search the Beggar's Nest. Well, what's in the Beggar's Nest? I have heard rumors that in the Blighted District, zombies walk the streets. Few are so reviled by my orders the abomination of the undead. It would be reasonable to imagine there is some connection between the undead and the unnatural end to those who succumb to the wailing death. Why haven't you investigated the Beggar's Nest yourself? Alone, I am not likely to survive the dangers of the district, and throwing my life away is a foolish way to serve the Silent Lord. My death will come in its appointed time. I'm looking for some hired help. The monks of the Order of the Long Death rarely join with those outside of our order, but I sense the mark of my masters upon you. A storm of blood swirls around you, anguish and death will follow you in your wake, just as it did at the Academy. Yet, there are many whom death will follow in this city, many who are willing to pay for my services. My fee to join your cause is 200. How about 150? There are many who can offer me the chance to revel in the joys of killing and death, and they will pay far more for my services. My offer stands at 200. Alright, 200. I foresee... 106, damn. I foresee a future of brutal and savage slaughter at your side. My order will be pleased. My hands will deal death to your enemies, and all my skills are yours to command. Whenever you wish me to change my title... Yeah.
Is there something you need?
Want to talk? I would like to know more about you. I would ask, Violet, that you tell me about yourself first. I'm eager to know what type of woman I have allied myself with. Why do you serve this plague-ravaged city? What possesses you to venture out into the streets amidst the bloated, swollen corpses and the burning funeral pyres? I've seen too much death and suffering. What the plague brings upon its people, the people of the city, cannot truly be called death. There is no final release for the victims of this illness into the waiting grasp of the Silent Lord. I didn't read the thing. Grimna, a macabre dwarven monk who worships death itself, has joined your cause with deadly feats like Stunning Fist and Flurry of Blows. Grimna is a powerful ally in combat. True death, the ultimate end of existence, is the one perfect absolute in the flawed world of uncertainty. The Order of the Long Death understands this. Tell me more about the Order of the Long Death, Grimna. We bring pain, torment, and anguish to the denizens of this world to prepare them for the release of death. We spread devastation, we seek to tear down, to obliterate, and to destroy. The monks of my order bow down to death. We swear allegiance to another, but only as it serves the will of the Silent Lord. So the Silent Lord is the god your order worships? My order does not bow before any god. We worship death itself and all its incarnations. Gods are transient. Even a god may die. Baal, Bane, Cyric. But death itself is always present. The Silent Lord is the name we give to the concept, the very essence of death. Zithus, what? We all serve death in one way or another, Violet. It is only after I left the Mithril Hall to join the Order that I truly came to understand this. Mithril Hall, is that where you came from originally? I spent several years at the Mithril Hall in the service to Bruenor Battlehammer, before I joined the Order of the Long Death. There was no place for me among the clans at Mithril Hall. I was shunned and reviled by my own kind. Shunned? What do you mean? This is not the time to speak of this. Let us return to our mission. The Silent Lord's hunger will not be sated by mere words.
I've been waiting for you. I suspected you would return. Do you need me to join with you once more?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Dalen, yep, Grimnaw's tale. Grimnaw talked a bit about his past, including the details of his worship of death and the fact that he hails from the fabled Mithril Hall of the Dwarves. Alright, so we need to gather up 200 coins just in case we fail the persuasion check with Sharwin, but once we have that, we'll be able to do that, and hopefully we get that before we get 3,000 experience, because as soon as I level up, everyone will be able to tell me the next part of their story. But I've been talking for way too long, so I'm going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I'm still having a great time. I'm really excited for this. So I've been Rael, and I will see you next time.